What's going on, guys? Can you hear me?
Shit, I can't.
Well, it should take a minute, I think, because remember, like
Try one more time.
30 seconds behind. One sec. There's a guy in the chat. I'm just pulling up the link. Um,
Can't
you,
really hear you.
I know I haven't unmuted, or yes, I have.
Yep, now I hear you.
All right, what is happening, guys? It's Trader Cause. We will wait just a little bit to see. I just tweeted the link, so some people will start coming in. What's up, SZ? That's my guy. Give him a follow on Twitter if you don't already, but you probably already are following him. He is a legend in the crypto space. Oh, I gotta mute that. Okay. Hopefully there aren't too many technical difficulties early on. This is my first time streaming. I've recorded a few videos, but this is the first live stream we're doing. So we'll give people a little more time to get in the chat or to get here, and then we'll get started. What's up, Paul, Trey, Osh? How's it going? Dean, Mo Ali, Theo Tell, Idiot Juice, Chris, Rory. How's it going? Emrula. So I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. Good to have you guys all here. I'm excited to start doing more of these streams. Should be a lot of fun. I'm going to give people just a couple more minutes, and then we'll jump into it. Hey, Stefan, say my name. Oh no, I think I'll struggle with that one a little bit. Crypto Coin Talk, what's happening? I'm doing well, Paul. Hey, from Germany, let's go. Robert, Chris, hello, Telegram, Twitter fam. It's good to see some people here. Let me check the Twitter really quick. All right, so we got 50 people here. That is more than I expected. That's good enough for me. So, BVB lemon, unbelievable, man. I did not think that lemon thing was. Will I be eating a lemon on stream? Wrecked proof. That is my guy. Me and him. We talk pretty much on a daily basis. He's helped me quite a bit in my trading. I like to think I've helped him too, but we definitely collaborate on some ideas, try and make money. But no, I will not be eating a lemon on this stream. JPM boss, how's it going? Bullish hopium. Okay, I actually do have something along those lines, except I don't think it's just hopium. So we're gonna start with a chart that I tweeted earlier. I don't know if I should pull up the tweet. No, I'll just pull up the chart itself. So Is the sound quality all good, guys? Should it be a little louder, a little quieter? Let me know once. I know there's like a 20-second delay from when I say that, but let me know in the chat and I'll keep an eye on it. But let's start with this. Some high time frame ideas. It will give you a little bit of hopium, I think. I'll wait to see what you guys say about the mic quality. How many lemons have I eaten in my lifetime? Just 2, and I posted the video of both of them. Okay, the sound is great. Awesome. Okay. So let's get started. Thank you all for being here. 67 people. That's awesome. Really excited about starting to do more videos and just grow this channel. So let's fire it off with a monthly chart here. I tweeted this one earlier because I was looking at our current monthly candle and I was like, oh my gosh, this thing looks kind of crappy. But, we still have a few days left. And then I was wondering, well, sometimes these super ugly candles that we see end up getting just blown right through the next month or the next hour or whatever it is. Like that one Ethereum candle that kind of trapped me yesterday. That's a perfect example. Like it looks like a super strong rejection, but it kind of just rinses a few people, traps some people, and then we push up from there. So I was looking at the monthly chart. This was the peak of our bull run in 2013 before consolidating for a super long time. And I wasn't around back then, but I would have assumed that this was kind of the obvious support level that you were looking for a retrace of. Like if we zoom in a little more, when this started to dip right here, I bet people were like, okay, we've got some support here, previous all-time highs there. Like it would make a lot of sense for us to pull back there. But had a few dumps. This was probably looking really, really bearish. If you're right here, you think, okay, we hit 3K, we're coming all the way back to 1, and then it just kept going. And so that's kind of, I got lost. That's kind of what I'm seeing here. We have both of our previous all-time highs, right here and here. A lot of people would buy 20K. I would buy 20K. I think that's the most obvious spot to buy. Even on like the daily and the weekly, we have good support there. But I'm kind of thinking we might get something like this. And this is obviously more based on, this is some fractal fun, some speculation. I'm not specifically like taking trades just based off of this chart. But I do think it is a pretty interesting idea. And I'm still going to be trading level to level on a daily basis, but this is still something I want to keep an eye on. So previous all-time high would be the obvious spot to pull back to. And you can see with this next candle, we dip below, and at this point, it was probably looking so bearish, coming all the way back down here, gets bought back up, and that candle closes green. So I'm kind of looking for something similar in February, and I have another chart that we can look at when we zoom in a little bit more that kind of supports this idea too. But maybe pull back to 24, 25-ish, and then I think we'll get some swift buyback from there. I think wherever this does end up bottoming, I think it's going to be pretty quick. I don't think we're going to hang out there for a long time. I think we're going to see a lot of volume come in. I think it's going to get bought back up pretty quickly. So just had to take a sip of coffee, and that's the kind of monthly idea that I have been looking at. But all right, let's talk more current time frame. Does that make sense? I don't know if anyone else thinks that makes sense, but it makes sense to me. SZ, everyone liked the video, show support. I appreciate you. And Danian, Arian, I mean, we should have at least 69 likes by now. Yeah, we should. Absolutely. Okay, so here is a 4-hour chart we're kind of working with. I talked about quite a bit of this in my video yesterday, but we've kind of been just having these lower highs, a few different tests of the yearly open. This was some nice 4-hour support that held here, but now we broke through, really ugly rejection here. We have an hour until the daily close, but if that 4-hour candle closes like that, I think we're getting the dip sooner rather than later. I think if we were able to hold back above here, like you can see, support, 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 and then we kind of break below it, deviation, as my friend SZ would say. And then if we were able to flip that, which there's still a chance of that, then I think we could push higher. But we're getting to a really interesting spot here, especially with the daily close coming. I'll be interested to see if we can get back above here before the daily close. If not, I think we will start dipping down sooner rather than later. So a higher time frame range that I'm looking at, that my buddy Wrecked Proof pointed out to me, he was in the chat, I don't know if he's still here, is this guy right here. Him and I were talking a little while back. We were kind of looking at this for a little while, and this was a nice retest of the range low, and this 4-hour candle got me feeling pretty bullish because it closed right above it, and then this one pushed up. Next one looks like it's getting rejected, but this was kind of the range that we were looking at and working with. But zooming out a little more, I think this might be the correct one. If you want to learn more about ranges and how to find them, I have learned quite a bit from my buddy SZ, who's in the chat. He is brilliant when it comes to ranges. But I do like using them too as some confluence with the other things that I see in my trading. But this is kind of the range that I'm working with here, and I think the most likely scenario, or the only thing that would kind of give me a long trigger right now, I do think you could probably short here. I'm not in a short right now, but because this just got rejected, I don't think we break back above that high. We kind of had a sweep there. Now it's breaking down, and I think we're coming to here. That's kind of the objective for me. But we'll see how this 4-hour candle closes. Sorry, I got to get back on topic now. Yeah, so the only kind of actionable long setup that I'm kind of seeing, bigger picture, would be a move down below these lows and then get back above that range low, get back above the yearly open, and then I want to see us push up. We have this 12-hour level right here. I don't have my magnet on, so this will be roughly drawn. Fix it. That super nice confluence with the mid-range. So I do think that would be a really great level for us to push back into, maybe sweep that high. And then I also really like these equal highs right here, and think that's another objective for price. So, but bigger picture, kind of what I was talking about with that other chart that I was showing you guys, was like the idea of price coming back down to the like 23, 24, 25. I guess that's like here, kind of that kind of area. What I kind of think that we might get, and once again, these really high time frame things where I try and have an idea of a couple different moves in advance, I'm never like, okay, that's my plan, I'm sticking to it, bias can't change, I said that's what I'm looking for, that's what it has to be, because then you're just gonna lose money, because it's very unlikely you're gonna predict like every single move. You know, we take what price gives us, we play it level to level, but I still think it can kind of help with your bias to have a bigger picture view in mind. So with that being said, let's zoom out a little bit more. Let me actually show you guys where these levels are from. 19.7 is monthly support. Or that monthly open. I don't really need those on there right now. I try and keep my main levels kind of closer to price, just because it's a little drawing. What is that? Just because those are the more relevant ones, and I like to keep the chart a little cleaner. But yeah, so we have some weekly SR here. I don't think we get all the way back there, but hey, who knows? If we do, I will be buying. And then the next most obvious place to support is right here, this daily SR level. So I don't know if you guys remember, but when we were here, I was kind of looking for a pullback here before things started really going parabolic, but we got rejected there, another rejection, closed right up against it, rejected again. Then once we finally closed through, we just got going. But that's a really clean level, and I think that lines up really well with this idea that we were talking about. I was looking here. We can look at it a little more precisely. But I wonder, actually, no, it's not worth it right now. I take it back. I'm just kidding. Okay, let's get back to this. Man, I get distracted really easily. But I really like this level, this daily level. We had basically just this. You can pinpoint it however you want. I like just having this line, but whatever works for you guys, you can look at it that way. But for the near term, like I was saying, so we've had all these wicks here, and when we dip down here, some people probably put their stop losses there. When we dip down here, stop losses there. Those kind of got hunted. We still have this low, which is untapped, and this one. Those are kind of some objectives for price that I am looking for us to push towards. So back to what I was saying like 5 minutes ago. The most actionable long setup that I kind of see here would be a move down below here, reclaim the range low and the yearly open. At both of these spots, I'll be looking for long positions. I'm not necessarily interested in catching a knife. However, I do not think that price would go below here. I don't think we're going below there. I think we might tag into that. So maybe this is drawn a little lower. Maybe we dip into that and then flip above. This is kind of the main scenario I'm looking for, and this is drawn really, really poorly. But especially if we reject from there, I'm looking for us to get here, probably lose that. Then we flip these, break in market structure, flip the yearly open, push up. That's kind of the main scenario I'm watching. If we get this, I will absolutely be longing, but I'm not going to try and catch a knife because, hey, who knows? Maybe this level, that daily SR, gets hit sooner than I think, and we just rinse everyone straight down here and then go up. I don't know. Nobody really does, but we can plan for specific scenarios and then go from there. Does the bullish scenario, I guess if you want to call that a bullish scenario, make sense to everyone so far? And then I'll kind of talk about where I think we'd be going from there, or what happens if we just bounce straight from here. But let me know if that makes sense, and let me catch up with the chat really quick. Brett's holding Ethereum until 10K. Hell yeah. Great presentation. Thank you. Capping it at 589. Yeah, Ripple is absolutely going there. Stock market really got altcoin season before us. Yeah, it absolutely did. I'm sure you guys have all been keeping up to date with that, but I think that is the funniest thing ever. And I wish crypto Twitter could be more like Wall Street Bets. Maybe one day. Thanks for your work. No problem. As long as this is making sense so far, as long as people are tracking, we will move forward. Let me just check something. Check the Twitter notifications. Sorry guys, give me just a sec. I don't know if this happens with everyone, but I feel like when I reply to a tweet, it doesn't work as well. Like, I think less people see it. I'm not sure if notifications work or not on a reply. Not that many people would have notifications on for me, but I just feel like all replies get less engagement than a normal tweet itself. Alright, I just tweeted a separate tweet. Okay, anybody dropping bait and waiting for a while? Alright, let us keep moving on. So that's kind of the bullish scenario I'm watching. And yes, that does still mean we could see another like 10% down. But there is nothing wrong with that. Okay, so I'd be looking for longs around the range low and around the yearly open. I think those are both really clean levels to look for some longs. If that happens and we do start pushing up, possible rejection areas, like I said, first here, and then these equal highs, and I'm not sure if it would really go too much higher than that. But okay, sorry, I keep getting distracted looking at a different screen. So up here, I'd be looking to take some off or look to possibly hedge, because I do think that we could have another leg down. So essentially, I'd be looking for something like this. I don't know how high it goes. Come down to this 20 whatever, 23, 24, 25 during February, get bought up from there, and then we can kind of resume the bull run action. But I think we need to cool off for a little bit longer, and this isn't like an anomaly. We've been consolidating for, let's see, from the after the top one, what, like 12? Oh man, that's white. $18 days. That's not unusual. If we go look at the BLX chart, which has a little bit more info, previous cycles, so like here on our way up to 20K that we were comparing this with, I guess from this, we'll go from this one. This was 36 days, 35 days. So it's not insane to think that we chill out here for a little bit longer. Same with this one. This pullback was, I don't know when you want to call it the end of the pullback, but it didn't break the high for 39 days. So this one too didn't break that high for like 50 days. Basically all I'm saying is that this isn't necessarily unusual that we're stalling for a bit. And I know for a little while, like we were literally just going straight up since October, and so we all kind of got used to that. And then we're thinking, oh wait, we haven't made a new high in a week, in 2 weeks. Like, why is this happening? So I don't really have a problem with this taking some time to play out. I'll be looking for short scenarios up here or here, and I'm looking for longs around here, around blue and the range low, reclaims of those levels. Other than that, man, I need to stop taking trades pre-confirmation, and I need to stop getting chopped up around the mid-range, because like I was telling you guys, this was kind of the range I was looking at earlier, and this whole area right here, caught a couple longs here, was looking for it to take out the highs, didn't take some profit, closed it at just above break even. Like, this was just a tough range for me, to be honest. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking for. Do those two scenarios make sense? Mostly just buy the dip here and a reclaim of the range low, or look for shorts / hedges if it stops bouncing. Because if we just start bouncing straight from here and get to that high, I just won't be convinced that the low is in with this structure. I think we need a bigger leg down. I mean, we took out this low and we're kind of holding it, so it doesn't look bad if we can hold above there. Like I was saying earlier, though, that 4-hour candle is kind of ugly, but if we can reclaim this mid-range, if we get rejected at this mid-range, I would definitely hedge some spot or even look for a short as well, targeting this low down here, if it goes straight from here, just because I just think there's more business that needs to be done down in the high 20s. That gets invalidated if we really start breaking some levels. Like if we start getting some daily closes back above here and break some higher time frame market structure, then I'll probably reconsider. Like if we push up and hold above there, then it would start looking like we're pushing up. But a bounce from here, I think there's still more business to be done down there. Maine, let's go. Good to see you here, man. Thank you for the support. Yes, I see what you're saying. Looking for awesome. Going completely with you. Okay, cool. I'm glad that is making sense to everybody. But yeah, essentially, I'm still leaning towards down before up. So what I'm kind of looking for going towards the end of the week, if someone just showed up or missed that whole rant I went on, something like this. Dip into this demand, take out the range low, break structure, reclaim the yearly open, and then we're going up. So that's pretty much it for Bitcoin. We can look at Ethereum too, if that's what you guys would like to see next. Just a sec. Ethereum, yes, ETH, would you mind checking out Link? Yeah, we can look at Link too. We still have 45 minutes till the daily close, so I don't know if I'll be on there, on here until the daily close, but we'll definitely look at some. Okay, so Ethereum has a much different structure than Bitcoin. Like you can see here, we've kind of been in this little uptrend channel, making some higher lows, marginally higher highs, but Bitcoin, kind of the opposite. I guess I could have split screened these, but you can kind of see the difference in structures. The problem is, oh, that's the S&P 500. Oops, they took a hit today. Everyone but GameStop took a hit today, and AMC. Yeah, so these structures look a lot different for me on Bitcoin and Ethereum. I was kind of looking at this 4-hour level. We bounced from there nicely, but couldn't really sustain it. Made a new low, bounced, got rejected again, and that's kind of what's just been happening. We just keep getting bounces from some logical areas, but they're just going to kind of like the first trouble area, you could say, and then getting rejected from there. So here, Ethereum, we got the mid-range just under 1,400, and then the mid-range, Monday's mid, and Monday's low here, Monday's high. I use this green, gray, and green template kind of for Monday's range. So if you don't recognize that or don't know where I'm pulling those from, that's kind of the little template I use for that, just to make it easier. If Bitcoin's dipping down, Ethereum's been showing a good amount of strength. If we look at the ETH BTC chart, man, this is messy. Played out kind of nicely though, huh? ETH BTC or ETH. I know Maine says ETH. I say ETH. So we still kind of have this ongoing fight about that, but I don't know who's right. We have this weekly SR level, and a retest to that, man, I feel like that would be so bullish. As long as we hold above that, I feel like we will just shoot up from there. And so if ETH kind of takes a back seat and Bitcoin takes the lead and some ETH or some BTC pairs start to take a hit, I'll be looking to buy those dips because they have been much more bullish than Bitcoin recently. We formed some daily demand there too. So this is a really strong area of interest, but because of this uptrend, this spike in ETH BTC, that's why, or I think I used the perp chart, that's why this has been in more of an uptrend versus Bitcoin's downtrend. But I guess what everyone wants to know is where we're buying the dip. So the first kind of area of interest, other than this one, I liked this spot. It gave a little bounce, but then got rejected at the range high. Now we already kind of lost Monday's low, and we've had a pretty clean rejection. Like here, we closed below, but then immediately spiked back up. Versus here, closed below, spike up, wick above, and we're getting rejected. So that makes me think we're pushing down further. I do like this level. nice confluence with this mid-range. And you can see, even if you look back a little further, like this level, I don't know where you want to call it, something like that, has been pretty pivotal. You know, we pushed up into it here, rejection, broke through, immediately flipped it, held it like 3 times as support, dumped through, retest there, retest there, retest there, flipped it, pushed up, held it there. And so that just goes to show how pivotal this level has been, and I would be looking for that kind of area to hold. But I'm going to be trying to time this with Bitcoin. So that I want to time it with Bitcoin and with ETH BTC. So if Bitcoin dumps and we get this blue box with Bitcoin, if Ethereum is right here, dumping a bit less but showing some strength still, I would absolutely be looking to long there, because I would think Bitcoin's bottomed out, and that would mean I think Ethereum would pretty much be bottomed out as well. I like the confluence with the mid-range and this 4-hour level. If we lose that, I think it'll get a little more messy. Zooming out to the daily, you know, we don't really have daily support until here. It's mostly lower time frame stuff. The weekly open is right here. I think we could bounce from there, or if we just take out this low and then get back above that, get back above the weekly open and push from there. The problem is that means Ethereum would have to dump 25-30%, while Bitcoin would be coming down 10 or whatever it is, 15, which could happen if ETH BTC takes a hit, but I'm not necessarily counting on that. So I think it's more likely we bounce somewhere in this 1100 area. So I think if we start, I mean, it's hard to really have a super established plan for this if I'm seeing more downside from Bitcoin, but you can see we have that low hit there, this one there. If we spike through here, get back above, I'd probably be looking for some longs, at least to there. So that could give us a good opportunity. But like I said, the kicker is going to be how it lines up with Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin is coming down to that support right as Ethereum is, that adds some confluence to our trade. I hope that makes sense. Let me take a look at the chat really quick. Thank you. Hello all. Hey Amar, Demo Cryptus, thanks for hanging out. If you guys could like the video, that would be awesome. Helps with the YouTube algo. I know it's kind of cringy to ask for that, but it does help, and maybe we'll be able to get some crypto normies, or not crypto normies, but YouTube normies over to crypto Twitter if they start seeing some more of this content. I don't know about you guys, but when I search for crypto stuff on YouTube, just kind of to see what's out there, it's just the most clickbaity titles, clickbaity thumbnails, and I'm just not about that. So thanks, Brett. Hi, Lemon Guy. Man, that's going to haunt me for the rest of my life. All right. Here's my link chart. We'll probably look at this one, see if Bitcoin has done anything, and then call it a stream. Been going for 36 minutes, 100 people in here. Really appreciate it, guys. Thank you for being here, coming in to tune in. All right, so Link has been strong too. Let's look at Link BTC first. So this was my send Link straight to the moon from here line, which Link did not respect it at all, but we did get back above it, and we're kind of shooting up from there. Not necessarily anticipating it to come all the way back down, but you never know. 23%. I think that's a really nice high time frame level, but overall you can see Link has been pushing up nicely. That's why the USD pair has been doing so well. I like this level right here. This was like the origin of our breakdown. And so I think that would be a good level to hold as support. We also have this daily support right there too. So something like that is kind of what I'm thinking we see. But overall, Link BTC looks super bullish. I think Link is one of the most bullish coins at the moment. That doesn't mean I'm buying it right now, because I still think the market might need a little bit more of a correction. But let's see. So here we have a daily breaker. So it was this up move before taking out this low, and then we break back above it. We're retesting it now. I like the confluence that it has with previous all-time highs, because I expect that to hold us some support. But given where everything else is, we'll see what happens. Like, that's the tough thing about Link right now. In my opinion, it's like sitting right at support, whereas other pairs are still a little ways away from support. And so if Bitcoin and Ethereum start dumping a bit, Link's going to dump too. So that's why timing things with the rest of the market is really important. That the importance of that, I think SZ, who was here earlier, I don't know if he still is, but he helped me recognize that probably like a year and a half ago. He's been a big help for me. But yeah, so Link, I don't really see too much actionable setups. We already swept that low, and we're kind of consolidating above our previous all-time high. I guess zooming in a little more, this could be a level to look at. If we get a sweep into that, but then still, I probably wouldn't just leave a limit there. I would want to see a little bit more, maybe some bullish price action. So let's say we chop around here, go down there, come up. I would want to see it break above here, and then once we get a break in structure, you can look to buy that dip. So that's kind of what I'm thinking for Link. Nothing really actionable quite yet, but it is something I'm keeping an eye on, because I do think once Link gets going, it'll be big. Also, if it does start pushing from here or from wherever, I think this is a really nice level, nice confluence with Monday's low. And so if we're able to break above that, that would give us a 4-hour break in structure. Retest that and Monday's low, and then I think we're off to the races. So Link is looking pretty bullish, but still need to wait. Like, bullish big picture, but you still need to be patient with entries, if that makes sense. Second dot, okay, a few different calls for dot, I think 3. So I will look at dot briefly. Thanks for going live. Hey, what a time. Supply. Yeah, so supply and demand, it's obviously something I could spend an hour talking about in a video separately, but basically supply is where sellers would be, demand where buyers would be, and the time frame that I'm talking about is just like where I see that. And typically I'm talking about the candle body, so just depending on what time frame I'm looking at, like with Ethereum, there's that 12-hour supply. I think that's what you're asking about. No, I think it's Bitcoin. Sorry about that. BTC perp. Yeah, so this level right here, I say that supply. So the price pushed up here. I think people were filling shorts. They were selling there or getting their sells filled with those buys, and then price sold off. And so there might still be some sell orders there. I think there's also some stops there in this case above that high. But yeah, supply and demand, it's something we could maybe do another video on sometime. That's kind of a longer lesson than what we're looking to do right this second. Thank you, Shoaib. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Democryptus, who were your mentors? My mentors, I kind of learned a lot. I tell people I'm kind of like a Frankenstein trader. I started like how probably everyone else did, looking at some indicators, and it's like, oh, okay, indicators are easy. This whole trading thing must be a piece of cake. I just look where RSI gets overbought and I short it, or I look where RSI gets oversold and I buy it. And if we have some MACD and some moving averages on there too, then we're golden, right? But like everyone else, I learned pretty quick that does not work. It's not actually that easy. And then I was like, okay, I really want to learn price action. And so Main, who was in here earlier, Trader Main, SZ, were two guys that really helped me with price action. So I do use some ICT concepts, but not directly through ICT. Back in the day, I used to talk with Sting and BitDealer a lot. They had a journal a while back, and those were two of my close friends. They helped me quite a bit too, just talking to them on a daily basis, back and forth. I think surrounding yourself with people who are traders that you look up to and who have similar styles as you can be really helpful in your growth. But I think the majority of your growth is just going to come from time, come from journaling, seeing what setups work, what don't, know what mistakes you make, stuff like that. And I'm still learning to this day. Like, I talk with a lot of guys on a daily basis. I talk with Sean Nance. He has a different style than me. He uses a type of Elliott wave, but he's one of my closest friends, and we still can collaborate on stuff. And there are just a few people I don't want to be counter trading. Wrecked Proof, I was mentioning him earlier. Talk with him a lot, pretty much every single day. He's got a crazy amount of discipline and organization, and I think that's something where I've been able to take some tips. And so I think just surrounding yourself by people who you respect as traders, you look up to, pay attention to their tweets, their educational posts, their videos, stuff like that, and eventually you can start putting things together. You know, there's nothing wrong with taking one piece from this if it makes sense to you, one piece from something else if that makes sense to you, and then just kind of developing your style through that. Like, I use ranges as some confluence. I wouldn't say it's like the number one thing I use when I trade. I will say I'm typically a price action trader. I will throw a moving average on there every once in a while for some confluence, but it's not like, oh, above this moving average I'm buying, below I'm selling. You know, I like to look at a pure price action chart. I use ranges, I use some opens, I use some stop hunt liquidity methods, and I've kind of just developed some styles and methods that work for me. So I hope that explains it. Bitcoin's 4 hours still looks pretty cheeks, if I'm being honest. Still half an hour till the daily close. How many days do we have left for this monthly candle? 4 days and 1 hour. Looks worse like this. Anyway, DOT. I did say we would look at DOT. Let me pull up DOT. All right. DOT is a super bullish project in my opinion. XO, Trader XO, if you guys know him, he was the first one to put me on DOT. And I saw him talking about it a while back, talked with him about it, and he was like, yeah, dude, this project is gonna be huge. And that was at least a few months ago. That's when it was just trading in this range here, and I was like, all right, I believe you. I'll buy some. So shout out Trader XO. Okay, let's see. I like that. Got some daily support here. This is kind of a this is the range I was working with DOT. This weekly open is old. That's old. Zoom in a little bit. What's our current? That's up there. Probably don't need that yet. What day is it today? Wednesday. So let's see if Monday's range is relevant. Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. Monday's low. Really nice confluence with our, I think that's Monday. Wednesday, Tuesday. Yeah, that's Monday. I'm an idiot. All right. Let me hide those. Okay. really like that confluence right there with the mid-range and Monday's low. So that is helpful. So the mid-range has been choppy in the past though, but I like how price has been respecting it more recently. Kind of similar with other coins that we've been looking at. I think like we haven't taken out this high or this high either. But it's looking like it's gonna keep bleeding a little bit for now. And this daily support is probably where I would be looking to start building a position. I know we kind of took out this low, but it wasn't enough to push us up. Excuse me. So for DOT, I don't know how long it's going to be ranging for, but when we're in a range, I like to stay away from the mid-range, or at least I should be staying away from the mid-range. You look for shorts around the range high, longs around the range low, and just play the extremes for as long as this range is valid. So if we come down here, we're long in, sweeps the high, we're shorting, and kind of just play in the range for as long as we can. So for now, pretty much the only setup that I would see is if we take a dip, sorry, my throat's getting dry, into this daily support and then get back above that range low. This range low has been a really pivotal level. Like you can see, that's kind of where we first topped out here. 3 wicks into it there, 2 here. So if you flip that level, if you have support, you lose it. You think it's going to be resistance, but then you get back above it and hold it as support again. It can be a nice long trigger. So yeah, not a ton to say about DOT. If we get that, I'd probably be targeting Monday's low right here, and if we get above that, target the high. But that also pretty much just banks on what the rest of the market is doing, like I've been saying with other alts. So once Bitcoin gets its last dump and once Ethereum dips, once I'm confident that Bitcoin and Ethereum have bottomed, then I'm going to be looking for longs on more alts. But for now, I think we can look for some type of a play here. Maybe even if that's just a day trade, a 12-hour, 8 to 12-hour trade. If we get a quick spike down and reclaim, I think that'd be a valid setup. But that's pretty much it for DOT. And I think we will wrap it up there. Appreciate everyone tuning in. If you can hit the subscribe button, it'll be a cool milestone when we get to 1,000. We had around 80 to 100 viewers for the stream, which is pretty awesome. So thank you to everyone for tuning in. And I'll continue to post some updates on Twitter, and we'll probably be doing these streams more often, maybe videos more often, maybe streams like once or twice a week. I think we'll just kind of find out a schedule that works for everyone. I don't know if this time of day is the best. I'm also fine with doing like 10 hours earlier than this, a few hours later. I don't know. We'll kind of see what works the best. But thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to hit me up on Twitter. You can DM me if you have any questions, comments, and I also have that Telegram, which is free, where I kind of cut out some of the noise from Twitter. But appreciate you guys, and